Here's a hard truth that every single woman needs to hear. Men do not bond like women do. If you're trying to be nice to your boyfriend in an effort to make him love you, stop it right now. If you're giving your boyfriend or your husband unlimited access to sex without conditions, stop right now. If you think that your man is your best friend, stop right now. And if you're leading in your relationship at the same time as you're feeling disconnected from your feminine self, stop right now. And finally, if you think that things you say will make a man marry you, stop right now. I'm Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. I've got 16 years of training and experience in the field of psychology and attachment. I've worked with thousands of couples, and these 5 mistakes in this video are the ones I see destroy relationships over and over. Today, I'm going to show you why your oxytocin is generating comfort when his loyalty system runs on vasopressin instead, what he's experiencing when you make each of these mistakes, and how to change so that he bonds with you instead of pulling away. There's a big thing we have to talk about here. It's the big elephant in the room. It's that women tend to bond best first through oxytocin. That means warmth, affection, closeness, and intimacy. This is an important piece of bonding, and men can bond by this as well, eventually. But men have more receptors for the bonding hormone vasopressin first. That's trust, it's shared challenges, it's solving hard problems. That's loyalty. Women tend to look for closeness, intimacy, and safety before they're willing to face problems because they don't want to be abandoned in the middle of those problems. But men tend to look first for, are we an effective team? Can we track challenges? Can we beat challenges? Now I'm willing to invest emotionally. Typically, we bond in those opposite directions first and then cross over and bond together. Leading with oxytocin tactics on a man often generates comfort, but not loyalty, desire, or commitment. We even know that with mammalian bonding, vasopressin is the primary indicator of monogamous instinct, desire, and protection in a man. Vasopressin is key here. So many women out there are bonding the wrong way. I want to say it this way. Key psychology fact number 1 for this video: he is not a woman. Bonding with him like a woman will destroy attraction. So the 5 mistakes we're going to go through here in this video will show you why you're aiming at the wrong target. Let me show you the 5 ways that this plays out. Be honest with yourself as we go through them. Many women are bonding with men the way that she would want to be bonded with herself. That usually means flowery message, paragraph novels written out for his emotions, unlimited sex with no expectations. She thinks that she's saying, I love you so completely that I have no walls with you. But what he hears is that this is just how she is. This is her dopamine rush. This is normal for her. He is there to perform. He's not there to be chosen with her. He's not bonding the way a woman would receive this information. She's flagging herself as just another woman in the relationship. The bonding chemistry never activates because she's not speaking his actual bonding language. There's a big problem here is that her oxytocin is firing off at this point, but his usually is not. It's an empty dopamine binge for him. And certainly his vasopressin's not bonding at all. He's not experiencing that closeness with her and building monogamous partnership and trust. That's not happening. He's not bonding to her no matter how much she just gives, because it just feels like an endless exchange of dopamine between them. Men and women don't really understand each other in this way, unfortunately. The thing that makes a woman act that way does not make a man act that way. Now, mistake number 2, smoothing everything in front of him. This leads right into it. Most women who are trying to build relationships, they go before him, they remove every obstacle, every problem before he encounters it, minimizes conflict everywhere, frictionless points, no expectations, no requirements, no difficult conversations, nothing. In her mind, she's showing love and protecting him from this difficulty. I love you so much that I'm making sure you're never stressed. If a woman did this for another woman, the other woman would say, you are so attentive. I thank you so much. You must really love me. For a man, he either thinks that she's treating him like a child, or he doesn't even hardly notice at all. It just feels empty. 0 vasopressin bonding can happen here. Again, vasopressin builds by solving problems together, not having them erased in silence or erased in advance just so he feels cared for. That doesn't make men feel cared for. It makes them feel either useless or it makes them feel nothing. In fact, by removing all the friction points, she's actually removing the very mechanism through which a man would bond. Vasopressin activates when you solve problems together, so shared problems are crucial. Erasing everything in front of him doesn't work. Going to him and talking with him and saying, hey, there's a challenge in front of us. I'd love for us to take this on together. I'm here to help. What do you think we can do here? What's a smart move? Let's do this together. Vasopressin bonding. Key psychology fact number 2 for this video. Talking does not make a man trust you. Only actions will. When the talking does not work, here's what most women do instead. Mistake number 3, they overperform to compensate. She performs harder and harder and harder, trying to get him to step up and lead. And all that does is fill the space where his leadership belongs. Listen, if somebody offers you a free, unlimited Netflix subscription for life, are you going to offer to pay $10,000 a month for that subscription when it's free? If you're providing freely everything to him with no structure at all, why would he formalize an arrangement where he's now paying you per month? Out of charity? No good man is going to want you just because you endlessly accommodate him. No woman has ever won a good husband through free sex. That's not how it works. The more that you overperform, the less he's incentivized to even bring anything. His brain reads it like things are just the way you want them to be. You are simply a person who provides endless free sex with no expectations ever because you like overperforming. When these don't work, and they won't, women make mistake number 4, pushing buttons like a vending machine. If you give unlimited access and then you explode when nothing changes, then you give unlimited access again and explode again. If he gets offered unlimited free ice cream, starts eating it, and then you scream at him halfway through eating the ice cream, then later you come back and offer him another cone, he eats it and you scream at him again halfway through eating it, he either is going to tune out the screaming and eat his ice cream, or he's going to leave. But he never responds by deciding to commit. That's not how this works. His dopamine novelty, it dies at 5 to 7 months. This is biology. It's not rejection. So if you're dopamine focused, you're on a time crunch because you're not bonding correctly. If you have not been building vasopressin alongside oxytocin and dopamine, there is nothing underneath it when it fades. You are free ice cream and he will leave when the screaming commences. He'll read your behavior as total satisfaction with the status quo until you explode, then you apologize and give more free ice cream, and now he reads you as unstable and crazy. There's no information there telling him anything needs to change, except that you give free ice cream and occasionally scream and attack. Many women are out here in the dating world pushing buttons on men like vending machines, trying to make a ring pop out. That's not how any of this works. Key psychology fact number 3 for this video: feminine energy is proactive. It's not passive. Most women are not prepared to hear that, though. That's why the 5th mistake is why all of this usually starts before any of these other mistakes even begin. Mistake number 5 is looking for a best friend instead of a husband. There's this common thing happening out there. If I can't find a man by the time I'm 35, I'll just marry my best friend. She's comparing men to how her best friend makes her feel. That's the idea, is you should be my best friend. No. Your husband should not be your best friend. It is a completely different relationship. That downgrades both friendship and spousal relation at the same time. These are different things. You need a man who would die for you without thinking about it. Absolute dedicated loyalty. And I'm sorry, but that is not your best friend. Women only understand friendship here, and yet they don't understand the depth of what romance with a man can actually be. You're looking for a friend who will be a man when it's convenient, instead of looking for a husband who leads appropriately and is prepared to sacrifice himself for you. Those are very different things. So if you're still single at 35, you might be looking for a friend when you should be looking for a husband. This is key. A husband, a man who wants to be your husband, is not looking for a best friend. He's looking for a life partner, an executive he can build with. He's looking for a co-founder for the greatest adventure that he's on, for a legacy. That is not a best friend. That is something so far beyond best friend. So when I say that he can't be your best friend, I also mean that you can't be his best friend. You should be his wife. That is so different and so important. Calling a wife a best friend is a downgrade to the wife. Vast difference that most people watching this probably have never even imagined before. Now, if you're being honest with yourself right now, you probably saw yourself doing at least one of these mistakes already, maybe more than one of them. But these are not 5 separate problems that never touch. They're 5 symptoms of the same root. You've been bonding with him through oxytocin, most likely, when his loyalty system runs on vasopressin. Every mistake I just described is you bonding with him in a language his nervous system does not respond to. Every insecure attachment style creates these bonding failures in a predictable, specific way. Anxious does it differently than avoidant does. Disorganized does it differently than both. So if you don't know which one is running your nervous system right now, you're going to keep repeating these patterns no matter how aware of them you are. That's why I'm running a free masterclass on May 30th called The Path to Remade Secure. I'm walking through all 6 insecure substyles. What's happening in your body, what's happening in your mind, and how to start shifting towards secure attachment. We're going to cover all of that. To get the registration link the moment it opens, get on my newsletter. The link's in the description. That's where it drops first. And if you're watching this after May 30th, I'm dropping the replay instructions in the description for you. Also, if you already know your pattern and you're done watching it play out in your relationships, the coaching application's in the description below too. My team will reach out and we'll figure out if it makes sense to work together. Do not leave this video because I'm about to show you what his nervous system is doing while you're making these mistakes and why he's not responding the way you need him to. Then I'm going to show you what to do. Now, these 5 mistakes, I'm going to be very blunt here. They don't just fail to build attraction. They also quietly erode attraction over time. His novelty dopamine, it dies at 5 to 7 months regardless. Every relationship loses it. It's not a sign that he picked wrong. It's just biology. The relationships that last are the ones where oxytocin, vasopressin, and serotonin are built underneath the dopamine and we're ready to carry the bond forward. But that's only happening if you've been giving him that fullness of connection. If you've only been giving him dopamine and performing, there's nothing underneath that when it fades. He has spent the whole relationship reading your behavior as if you're just totally happy with how things are, and then it falls off a cliff. And if the only information he gets otherwise is the occasional explosion, his nervous system files that under, she's unstable, not, there's a structural problem that I need to solve together. The cycle here, you overperform, he underfunctions, you detonate, he's blindsided, nothing changes until you fix it or he walks away. One of the biggest things I see here is men who say, I was blindsided. Adam, she gave me unlimited free love, sex, care, and told me everything was perfect. And then every 90 days, she would blow up and scream at me that everything was terrible, couldn't give me any specifics. Then she'd come back after a day or two and apologize for blowing up and go back to telling me everything was perfect. And then at 10 years in our marriage, she exploded and filed for divorce and said that I'd been abusing her, stonewalling her, that I was a covert narcissist, all of these things. I don't understand what's happening here. This is women making all 5 mistakes and blaming men for their own mistakes. Now, before I show you what works, I have to say 5 things as directly as I can. They won't be comfortable, but they're true and you need to hear them. Number 1, your man cannot simultaneously make you feel safe and be your best friend. Number 2, you've been bonding with him as if he's a woman. That will never produce loyalty in a man. Number 3, talking does not make a man trust you. Only shared challenge and consistent action will. Number 4, feminine energy is proactive, not passive. You have to lead in yourself before you can ever inspire a better leader to build a life with you. And number 5, no woman has ever won a good husband through sex, overperformance, or giving endlessly with no structure around it. Now that you know what does not work and why, here's what does work. Stop solving things individually. Stop solving them around him. Start solving them with him. That's where vasopressin builds. Let him encounter the friction and work through it with you. Solving problems together means bringing him a task and saying, there's this problem before us. I need your help fixing it, and I'm not quite sure what we should do here. Here's the concern. If we fix it, here's the benefit to both of us. And here's what I think could be necessary and helpful, but I don't know. Can you help me implement this and solve it? And can we get through this together? Done. By the way, this is why he can't be your best friend, because you actually have to run him almost like an executive at a company and give him tasks to do. You probably don't throw tasks at your best friend, and your best friend probably doesn't throw tasks back at you either, so that you can build a system. This is more akin to business partnership than best friendship. The second thing is to present a menu clearly. What you're offering to him in the relationship and what you need in return. This is not a transaction. It's not a sheet of prices. Every time we have sex, it's $50. That's not what this is. It's a negotiation structure that protects your capacity to give. In our relationship, I would love to give this, and this to you at this level. For me to do that, I would need this from you. Usually it's a sense of safety, a label, protection from abandonment, something. I would need this from you to provide this to you. If you can do this for me, I can keep giving you this at this level. Does that work for us? Can we have that conversation? This is presenting the menu. I use the what, why, and how often method here, by the way. What do you specifically need? Why is it beneficial to both of you? And how often do you need it, or how much of it do you need? Make it measurable and exact. That helps him actually hit those targets. Here's the real truth, though. Most high-performing men discover that your needs are far more reasonable than they ever feared. They just assumed the price was astronomical because they didn't know what it was. I also teach the under what conditions framework. Instead of saying, do you want to get married? That's a yes or a no, and there's so many answers, there's so many pieces, he's going to avoid that conversation. Hey, under what circumstances would you love to get married and build a life with me? What would have to happen for you to be excited for that and for that to feel like the right fit? Under what conditions? Not a binary anymore. And finally, learn what his love actually looks like. If you're expecting a woman's love in return and a man is loving you, it's not going to look the same. His love probably runs through vasopressin, through protection, through providing, showing up when things are hard, solving problems with you. If you can see that clearly, the whole picture begins to change. It may not look like the Hallmark movies you expected. It may look like something so much better. Now, the fact that you watched this entire video tells me something very important about you. You're not the kind of person who gives up on a relationship. You've been putting in the effort, and the problem was never your willingness. It was that nobody showed you how his bonding system works. But now you know, and now you can do something different with that. These 5 mistakes, they're what happens when a woman was never taught how men actually bond. The chemistry of it is real. The transformation is documented. It starts with understanding what's happening in his nervous system, not just in yours. So here's where you can go from here. If you want to understand which attachment styles creating these patterns in your relationships, I'm running a free masterclass on May 30th called The Path to Remade Secure. In that masterclass, I'll be walking through all 6 insecure substyles, what's happening in your body, what's happening in your mind, and how to start shifting towards secure attachment. To get the registration link the moment it opens, get on my newsletter. The link's in the description. That's where it drops first. And do not miss this one. Or if you're watching this after May 30th, I've added the details for how to get to the replay below. And if you're past the learning stage, if you understand your pattern and you've watched it push men away over and over and you're done with that, the coaching application's also in the description below. My team will reach out and we'll figure out if it makes sense for us to work together. Make sure you like this video if it made you rethink how you've been showing up in your relationships. Drop a comment. Tell me which mistake resonated the most with you. And subscribe if you're not already so you do not miss what's coming next, and to help the message of secure attachment reach as many people as possible. The next video you need to watch is how avoidants actually fall in love, and it's not what you think. Now that you understand how men bond through vasopressin, that video shows you what it looks like when avoidant man actually goes through that process step by step. I'll link it right here, and I'll see you in that next video.